kakangadi ala yomani kakangayi ayomata ayoma ya yomata kakangayi ayonyeni obapala kakangala lewyi ayomana ha kangadara yan lewyin ni ana anda yonyeni ala yomana ha ala wana ku yomana ha na ona yan leyi nangune ya lere la kana to kumbanya jejang ayala tana yalanka tinjinga tana maya temehe ka wogarun wata koran wasu gahiya kan aja man yi ayala anana an sagana intiya ka banan wana ta gana na malan ka ta seba bin ada tontoma bojun yalanga anya enga lewa bunga tambora ko lewa nga gana ja yala la NDC yon yala nana MPP yon yala nana ta ganan le tinye kar ihu abora ni anatin nan de ko sun ka gana i ado ala ta bebla no unda ambene mun na ibla kuti to ya salamu alaikum eyezu oyemizu tijin kawhayan ajunte kula yala yogore nti hete bonye somnga sugi minute make identifiable groups kaba wakabare His Excellency John Rahman Mahama kaba wasohe vuwa ambachibe tinadan pilin abuwana ba ka bayire wana ayala ba yala fere hebe kaba tara sohe bo kaba sohe His Excellency na ihe anwe nadan buwanye tutak ba leader tutak in the person of Engineer Professor Hamidatu Darman Saka, Professor Hamidatu Darman Saka, ule iya engineer man, ona na wa ahatuta baborang ayala yala biela. Let's welcome him with a round of applause.
Eyezu, Your Excellency, our party faithful MPs and all dignitaries here, I'm standing on behalf of TUTAC to make two pledges and make a commendation as well. The first one, Your Excellency, we travel a lot, and when we go around other universities, we have realized that our universities are not the same as the ones we see out there. Our humble plea is that when you become the president of this nation, very soon, which we are all very sure of, we will plead that you uplift the image of our universities. Both, well, I will speak for myself. I know my other university, UTAG would come forward, but we would pray that you uplift us and make us a state-of-the-art university. Because when we go out there, when you walk into Legon, for instance, and you walk into our campuses, you can see a clear difference. And I think that we are all Ghanaians, we train people for even the international community. And we will be very glad if our university is being uplifted. Dr. Hilela Tikelka University is where I'm speaking from. The second one, Your Excellency, is that we have seen that you have built a hospital, which we are proud of. I, for instance, I go around a lot, and what I see at the Upper West Regional Hospital, if nobody knows, it's a state-of-the-art hospital that we have. And I can imagine if we have in our universities technology parks. I had an opportunity to visit Kenya, and there's something they call the Tattoo City. And in the Tattoo City, they had almost all forms of industrialization going on. You have teaching, research, and almost everything in one center. And I think that if you're able to get this technology park for us in our universities, it will help drive industrialization and make this country and nation proud. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Professor Hamidatu Darman. Tenabuanye Garages Association. Bameng Babo aha ona min na wayele yele kudu kuona la Jinsun Rashid Garages Association
Onanda yele yele akuti on behalf of garages in the Upper West region. Thank you.
Your Excellency, constituency executives of the National Democratic Congress, that is the NDC, regional executives, and all other protocol duly observed. We are much grateful this evening to have you with us. In fact, there's no better time to have this than now, because it appears you are redefining the People's Manifesto. We've been seeing the People's Manifesto in books, in papers, but His Excellency, former President John Dramani Mahama, has truly shown us that he is redefining what we call the People's Manifesto. Shall we give him a hand of applause? My name is Jinsu Rashid, and I represent Ghana National Association of Garages. We are made up of spare parts dealers, all artisans that are within the automobile industry. And then we urge His Excellency that on January 7th, 2025, he shall be sworn in as a president. He shall be sworn in as a president because we have realized and we have witnessed some administrations for the past, and then we have realized that we have to do the Sankofa way. Go back and pick His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Your Excellency, we have been dealing with a lot of issues within the Ghana National Association of Garages, which are that we have a new system, that is to say we need to upgrade our artisans so that they will be fit with the current generation that we are having. So we want, after 7th January 2025, you try as much as possible to make sure we get some of our guys to Toyota Ghana, Mitsubishi Ghana, and all the companies that are manufacturing cars, so that we always have our people there doing attachments and getting training from them. So at the end of the day, we'll make sure we make the transportation industry more robust, because you cannot have a transportation system that is more robust without a good automobile industry. So we are urging you, because we have already started, and our MPs in Upper West are supporting us to put up a state-of-the-art training center for Ghana National Association of Garages. And in fact, I will use this opportunity to thank our regional chairman of the NDC in the Upper West region for the marvelous work done. In fact, when we started our project, this man came to our aid and supplied us with several heap of sons to complete our project. But the project is still ongoing. We urge that when His Excellency get a nod, and by His grace he shall get a nod, and when he gets the nod, he support us in our course of work, because we are using our dues, we are using contributions, we are using donations to make sure we fund our projects. But if he comes, I know for sure, because I have trust in him, that he is one that is being trusted and he's been tested. So we know he can deliver to expectation. So I'll seize this opportunity to thank him for this beautiful journey that he is embarking, because he's reaching out to the people. How many political parties in Ghana who want to embark on some of these things? So the truth will always speak by itself. So let's make sure we vote massively, because it's very clear, because someone should not go and sit somewhere and say, because I belong to Ghana National Association of Garages. I am trying not to be neutral. Fact is fact, and fact is factual. Let's give him the nod. Let's give him the leverage to do the right thing. And giving him the leverage is all about thumbprint. Let's try and then support His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
Thank you very much, representative of Garages Association. Tenabuanya NADRA Foundation, Mr. Siddiq. NADRA Foundation. NADRA Foundation. NADRA Foundation. Yes.
Thank you. Good evening to everybody. His Excellency, the incoming President, John Dramani Mahama, you are most welcome to Upper West Region. On behalf of the parliamentary candidates of Upper West Region, we are here as a body, NADRA Foundation, to assist your government coming 2024. The beautiful woman lady standing here is called Nadia Dramani. She is running an NGO called NADRA Foundation, which is administering the affairs of women in Ghana as well as in Upper West Region here in Wa. Before I continue, let me thank all the NADRA Foundation women in this hall for their support and the good work they have been doing for the foundation in Upper West Region. This woman here is saying she was having a lot to talk on behalf of women. But 2 days ago, she realized His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has solved 80% of the women's problem by choosing a woman to becoming the running mate of National Democratic Congress, NDC, who is the person of Professor Nana Jane Ajiman. She is most grateful there. Why is she saying so? She believes when we talk about economists, women are the managers of economists. And once women are the managers of economics, was the reason why economic itself is originated from the housewife. And the professors and doctors who are in this hall, whenever they ask you a question of what is economics, the simple meaning of it is management. And once it is a managerial thing, it needs someone who has skills. It needs someone who has a good character. That is the reason why the definition also went, I am a science, study human behavior as the relationship between ends and scars. Let me pause here. Study human behavior, that is where you can get a better choice. So, looking at the angle of this foundation in Upper West Region here, we realize that it is only His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, it's only His Excellency John Dramani Mahama who can have that wisdom to champion the cause of economics in this country, to assist women from their difficulties. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, NADRA Foundation. On this note, hello, to Wanyanka, hello, NADRA, it's okay, to Wanyanka Nat, Nagrat, CCT, ka yalla yata anyoga yalla nyogori himine, so ya no baba ne ya yi wachanga our present ya issues Nat Nagrat CCT Ghana ya yire wana ya bata ya yire wana Nat Nagrat CCT Ghana. That's Concerned Teachers Association Ghana, Ghana National Association of Teachers, and then Graduate Association of Teachers.
His Excellency, let me stand on the existing protocols to make our submission. My name is Suleiman Mujib, representing the Ghana National Association of Teachers, Upper West Region.
Al-Hassan Abdallah Salifu, representing the Coalition of Concerned Teachers Ghana, CCT. Thank you.
Ibrahim Saweba, representing Nagrat.
His Excellency, these three teacher unions, we have come together to develop a document that is to be inculcated into the political party manifestos that is gearing towards the enhancements of education within this country. If you look at this document, it is a 5-chapter document. We are going to make this document available to you, Your Excellency, so that going forward, inshallah, 2025, we, the teacher unions in Ghana, will have a very smooth and a very elaborate engagement with you as a president. Very important in this document, Your Excellency, if you look at chapter 4.1, it is talking about enhancing the collective agreement that we have already signed and also making the improvement of teachers within this country. Again, we also talking about making sure that schools that exist within this country have accommodation for teachers, because that is one of the key things that we teachers, that is so dear to our hearts. Without wasting much time, we make the document available to you. We wish you well, and we pray that inshallah, come 2025, we will have a smooth working environment with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, NAGRAT, NAT, and then CCT Ghana. This document certainly will be handed over to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. On this note, Tenabuanye Professor Elijah Yendao, UTAG Rep. Professor Elijah Yendao, UTAG Rep. Professor Elijah, if you are around, can they come upstage?
You know, some of us are very short, so yeah, thank you so much. Okay. Good evening to everyone. Your Excellency, John Dramani Mahama, regional executives, invited guests, and all protocols observed. This is UTAG, the biggest union in this country. And we are here to share a few toasts with His Excellency. UTAG asked that we tell you, Your Excellency, that you are welcome to the Upper West region, and UTAG is more than willing to partner you should Ghanaians decide to vote you into power comes 2025. Your Excellency, we are coming from the SD Dombo University, and we have a few issues that are bothering the university, and we will want to lay them bare and call on you when Ghanaians, the good people of Ghana, decides to give it a nod so that you go back there to accomplish the unfinished business. First and foremost, UTAG SDDUBs thinks that when you assume the reins of power, the first thing to do is to cause a major shift in the change of the university's name. The reason being that the name is too long and it is affecting enrollment and internationalization of the university. That's the first one. Two,
the name is...
all right, let me repeat the name of the university. Yes. What I am saying is this: the university's name is such a long one, and it is serving as a disincentive to attract international and local students. The name is Simon Diedon Dombo University of Business Integrated Development Studies. You can imagine such a name. Too long, and it does not appeal to the global community. That's the first one. Two, since the university was set up in 2019 by an Act of Parliament 1001 and came into full force in 2020, This government, I don't know what's happening. Okay. Since the university was established in 2020, this government has not released a peso for the running of the university. And we are struggling in terms of infrastructure. No office space, no lecture theaters, we don't have library, and so many others. The university is struggling. Your Excellency, if time permits you, just take a drive to the campus and you'll be amazed. You'll be surprised to see the level, the condition under which we work. Trade. As UTAG, we all understand that no country can develop without research. We have identified that there is a clear nexus between research findings and the development of various countries. And so what we are saying is that when Ghanaians, which I know by the grace of God, you will get back to the Flagstaff House. What we are recommending is this: kindly ensure that all policies in this country are evidence-based, driven by research from the various higher education institutions. Next point, I am just summarizing. Next point, we are also urging Your Excellency and your government, when you come in, to also fast track the setting up of a national research fund. And what we are proposing is that globally, at least 1% of the country's GDP should be set aside to support academic and scholarship. Even in the absence of a national research fund, we are proposing the book and research allowance be enhanced and made readily available at all times. I think some people really do not understand what the book and research is used for. It is not for, they call it roofing allowances. Lecturers do not pick this money just to build houses and road buildings. What we use the book and research fund for is for us to enhance research and improve pedagogy and improve the teaching in the university. Your Excellency, there are several other challenges that the university is faced with, but in the coming days, UTAG will be coming out with a few proposals to support you so that Ghanaians will see that you are the best alternative, and we will work and hard to ensure that you get back to the Flagstaff House. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, UTAG. Tetara to boku haba memba mbiyeche atara Smoke Weavers Association ba mbiyeche atara Mess Association Upper West Region ba mbiyeche tena buanye GPRTU rep Alhaji Nuhu kumun wayi atura yala biele bele kuti minti ayi Alhaji Nuhu minti ayi. Just 2 minutes. GPRTU.
Your Excellency, the GPRTU is in support of your 24-hour economy. And if God willing, you come to power, we hope that you will implement the 24-hour economy. Your Excellency, the tariff of the Wa Bode Bombo Road is dear to us. Then the Wa Tumu Bolga Road, in fact, it's something that is dearer to the people of Upper West. If by His grace you are able, if God bless you to come to power, the first thing we want you to do is to tie the Wa Bode Bombo Road, the Wa Heng Tumu Bolga Road with Alpha. Your Excellency, the union would like to invest in the areas of e-ticketing to help in tracking all vehicles so that in the event of accident, they can easily be located and supported. We have done.
Barka yaga GPRTU. Your last point.
okay tena buanya unwa yelanka ka GPRTU unwa yela kar na buanya te da poba cha sene yanda wa sobla kar le buon teyin of the various institutions, the various learning institutions. Teyin, just come and give us a word. Tibihin and Tiyahana Ambi Sukuhanga Amal Dijuga, secondary school will be a university labe, polytechnic labe, teacher training college labe, nursing training college la. I school be Babo, I have me one young way, Hayala Kutibiala. You cannot hold it. Just one second. Okay. You talk.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. My name is Saidu Abdurrahman Sudais, team president at Jahan campus. And these are the team president, Dr. Hilal Iman, and Sam, that's UBAIT president. Your Excellency, and all protocol duly observed, we, the student body, have many problems that are disturbing us. And to speak to these problems, one of the problems is licensure exams. We realize that, Your Excellency, this issue is one of the problems you have been talking about in all institutions. And we are here to also bring our concern. Licensure exams is one of the factors that are, deteriorating our educational processes. When you see these licensure exams, students on campus write 60 courses, or let me say 60 subjects before the licensure exams. Why will you use 2 hours to determine the 60 hours, let's say 60 course students will learn on campus? That's one thing. And when you check, we have STS, and this STS makes us to go on in communities to do what? Teaching practice. As of now, we are doing teaching practices. We have to do 4 months teaching practices, and you just use 2 hours to determine our efforts we are doing on campus. That's why we are saying the licensure exams should be cancelled. Mr. Chairman, hey, Your Excellency, we have one factor too, that's teacher training allowances. The MPP government have deceived us. It's a scam. When you see the licensure, the teacher training allowances, it's something that they are using to deceive us. Currently, they have increased our school fees and exam fees by 15%. And when you check that in, by the time you deduct the 15%, the allowance that you are getting now is 149. It's no more 200 Ghana cedis again, which is disturbing us. So we are bringing our concern that when you come, and we know you come, inshallah, January 7th, you come. When you come, you increase our allowances and maintain our school fees and you reduce it for us. Your Excellency, one of the problems again is in, out. That's infrastructure. It's due to the infrastructure that now we are doing in, out program. Where students, when you enter level 300, they will ask you to go in town and rent a house. You feed yourself. All these are problems teachers are facing. With the allowances that you take 149 instead of 200 Ghana cedis, it's just less. So you buy soap and all these things. So when you come, infrastructure is one of the things that are disturbances. So Your Excellency, these are the problems we are facing. And my colleagues also says that Campus Connect. Okay, let me talk about the Campus Connect here. You see, now the youth, we are the future leaders. And when we have programs on campus, we doesn't see any benefit that the students are generating from it. We are the future leaders. But when we have programs, we invite them. They don't usually put out the effort. Yesterday, TESCON, the NPP, their national organizer came there. They were giving students morals. We need that morale to ginger our colleagues so that coming 2024 election, we win the election. Inshallah, I trust that 2025 will be in power. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Teyin. They've said it all. There is no need adding or subtracting anything. Market women te da poroba ko mun wayi aturu yela minti ayi akuti te da poroba sisa samia please yata wa jama halaka ne bayi turu yolla ne bayi just 2 people to yawana ke yawana poroba yawana yawana tai. So wala ya to hamin tai.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Ka kamar dinga. Ya nola. Tuna poet sante hono no wa ya. Apo chairman Bonas anan Dr. Hassan Rashid Pelfu. Tunola da poroba. Tunola da poroba. Tunola da poroba. Tiyam poe jo mama o wa ya he. Temen anan sotin yendu kula ka pona wa wana. To say ho sia amalu so se na so se be chane a se botin na bi NDC woto gine onala chema Bonas ka chema Bonas junana tidam baliya to party nga ampiulu na woto gine to baba mbene NDC no ambe tun loti ji ombuante karawa kara no no alanta Tendega, want to hear Kutungwama. I don't pump on a chairman Bonasla, John Mama Manla, chairman Bonas. I want to know that was at the Dambalo, put it down with Aku. I don't Tumboraka, Ponawa, Wana, Hula, that's a Dapova, Quadahe. I boy a billet and Akuti, Kalmin Manton, I wanted to be a banyo to Samahan. Tell a boy among four bank. To say, oh, Sergina, I saw Bill Blagambe. How can I lie into what your question? No, I smoke over to 2024. The answer to Calabella. Poor power. Aquata. The answer mean Caladiaca. I MPP the Messer, MPP the member, dear now, I would see. Twana balo anke at that to know ginger changing, balo le chimbe hall. Can you manchela so from a chicken balanya engine that don't show him? I don't to pull about the poor, John Mama Coco now, Dina, Kowa, now Abantua at a quarter hill. Tell the boy and car to the show timing, I could share my Bonas, Wuduku, John Mama.
To ya barka ya ja timamine da poroba tie timamine banyes nabi kwara kara kaka waduku babida basira His Excellency John Rahman Mahama jiratin centanga tenan buwan yan nabi akabano yan wayalba then His Excellency will now come. Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association. Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association. Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association.
Thank you, His Excellency. Thanks for the opportunity given to Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association. We have a few concerns to table. NEC 2 is here with us, nurse educators. So first, we have an issue with regards to equipment. His Excellency, at most of the facilities, we have staff to work, but the equipment to work with is not available, just as we lack a lot of logistics at these facilities to work with. Again, His Excellency, we the nurses and midwives in Ghana also seek for increment in the steady leave that we give to ourselves to be able to pursue further education, to learn, equip ourselves with more knowledge and skills to be able to serve. And upon that, we have the issue of delayed conversion and promotions. It would be good to note that initially promotions were just 3 years, which they said now we have to go for promotion under 4 years and in some cases 5 years. We want to plead that if you come into power, you could reverse this back to the 3 years for equal promotions. His Excellency, another concern for this group is that we are growing poultry fowls, but we cannot eat this poultry. Why? Because we give health, but we cannot have health for free. So we are seeking that as you come in, you would promote this health treatment for all nurses and midwives so that we can be treated for free. Instead of also having to pay monies upon delivering health service, we have to still pay money to also be treated. So we should look into that. Another concern we have is that we should have housing loans and car loans for nurses and midwives in Ghana. This, coupled with other issues, would help us stay back in Ghana to be able to render our services than to exploit to go abroad. Lastly, we want to seek more scholarships to go to school. We have the initiatives to go to school, but the packet upon what we take home cannot cater for our families, let alone to go back to school. So we seek that you give us more scholarship packages to go to school and also motivate we those that are posted to the hinterlands so that we are able to stay there and render services to these hinterlands. Painfully to end with is the unposted nurses and midwives. We have a chunk of nurses and midwives that are not posted, still rendering in the homes of our parents. And parents still feed us upon paying school fees. We have about 3 badges still in the house, Mr. President. So we want you to look at that. NEC will take over from here.
Your Excellency, thank you very much for this opportunity. We, the Nurse Educators Union or Health Tutors Union, want to also plead with you that when you come into power, kindly elevate all the nursing training schools to tertiary level so that we can be able to award degrees. We also want to plead with you that when you come in, institute the policy of research and book allowance for nurse tutors as well. We all know that a nation cannot thrive without research. So we want to improve on our level of research at the nursing training schools. Thank you, and we wish you all the best. We know that 2025 January, you will be sworn in as the president. And thank you for making a woman the running mate.
Thank you very much, our nurses. Your Excellency, our friends from the differently abled association have put all their concerns into a document form and they have handed it over to me to be presented to you. Thank you very much. On this note, I would like to invite the nation builder, the incorruptible leader, the great son of Indawura Japa, a proud son of the North, His Excellency John Napogobakolena Dramane Mahama.
Thank you. I think I'll just go straight. Yeah. Thank you. Please be seated. Kindly be seated. Thank you very much. I'm going to be as brief as possible because we've kept you here waiting for too long and time is fast spent. Many of you have to travel some distances to get back home. And so I want to thank everybody who represented your professional groupings and expressed your view about your challenges and your concerns. And I'm going to go through and make a comment on a few, not all of them. But let me say that we have been to several regions already, and some of your colleagues have also spoken about some of the same things that you have are speaking about. And so many of these things we have captured already, and I'm sure that you've heard me talk about them in the past. And so I'm not going to continue to repeat myself, so I'll just pick and choose a few, and then just for emphasis, and then also to respond to some of your concerns. Now the first one is Professor from UTAG. Thank you very much. And I think your concern is very great, because we created the technical universities, and the intention was to upgrade their facilities so that they can have a quality learning experience. But over the last 7.5 years, what we left in 2016, nothing has been added to it. And unfortunately, this government has collateralized the GET fund. And so the resources are not there for them to invest in the facilities in your technical universities. And that is why development in those universities has become very slow. And so I want to assure you that when we come, they have something they call the Capping and Realignment Act, based on which they have capped the GET fund and the National Health Insurance Fund. And if they exceed a certain amount, the excess amount goes into the consolidated fund. We're going to remove that cap so that all the money that is taken as GET fund goes into the GET fund and is used for development on your campuses. Aside from that, they have also collateralized the GET fund. They floated a bond they called the Dachi bond, which was a 7-year bond, and they took the money in advance to build STEM schools. And so almost 60% of the GET fund has been collateralized. So when the money comes, it goes to pay the debt. It is only 40% that actually goes into the fund. And that 40% is not enough to meet the development needs of all the educational institutions in Ghana, including secondary and basic education. And so it's something that we'll look at. All the suggestions you made, technology parks, if there's enough money, it is something that we should do, because it enhances teaching and learning, especially in technical institutions. Upgrade artisans. You know, the world is moving forward, and now with a lot of the vehicles and machines that are being produced, they are based on computer technology. And so many of the new cars that come, if you don't have the training to be able to repair it, if you touch it, you will damage the car. And that is why a lot of people are sending their cars to the dealer, because they don't want to risk sending it to garages and magazine and something will happen to the car. So we need to upgrade the training of our auto mechanics in the garages, because they are what we call diagnostic equipment. It is a computer, you plug it onto the vehicle and it will tell you exactly what is wrong with the vehicle. And so you don't tamper with anything. If it says the brakes, it will show you that the brake pads are worn. So you just go, you change the brake pads, you put new brake pads, you give his car to him and he goes. But if you go and you say you are going to use our old techniques to try and repair the car, I'm sorry, you might damage somebody's car for him. So I agree with our friend from Garages that we need to create training centers so that we can send these young boys there and girls so that they train on how to repair these new model of cars. Happily, I was reading somewhere that Toyota Ghana has opened a training center. And so we should explore and see if they can expand it so that we can bring some of these young apprentices, auto mechanics who are learning to repair vehicles to the Toyota Center so that they learn some of the modern ways of how to service these and maintain these vehicles. I want to thank NADRA Foundation for their contribution. They didn't ask any specific question, but I want to thank them for their contribution. I know that they are organizing the women, and that is exactly what we want, because I'm saying that We are not going to deal with microcredit for women as individuals. We are going to deal with them as groups and cooperatives. And so government is not going to take small credit and give to Aishetu, give to Alimatu, give to Hafsata. You must all be members of an organization. And government will give the money to your organization or your cooperative, and they will on-lend it to you. It makes our work easier and makes life simpler for everybody. We have received a copy of the Teachers' Manifesto. Indeed, your national organization gave us a copy, and so we're happy that you've also presented a copy here. A lot of the things in there we already are aware of and are taking note of them in our manifesto. And so I want to thank the teachers for the Teachers' Manifesto, and I can assure you that we are studying it and looking at it, and we would take note of what you have put in there. UTAG announced that when we win, we will change the names of the universities. This president does not know how to build. He only knows how to name. All the universities he's gone around renaming, he didn't build them. They were built by NDC. And then he's gone, instead of even being even about it, take people in history, take people of prominent importance who have contributed to Ghana. He has just taken NPP tradition, SD Dombo, CK Tedam, Apia Menka, all their NPP people. And then he's distributed their names to universities that he did not build. I've said it already, I'm saying it again. When we come, we will change those names. Because I believe that the most important thing is that a university's name must prominently indicate its core mandate. That's all. You can go into the university and take the registry or the Vice Chancellor's office and name it SD Dombo Vice Chancellor's office. Or you can name the administration block or the library or something after important people. But please leave the names of the universities alone. When we were in office, when I was Vice President, Professor Mills came to your university here and he promised you 3 key projects. Unfortunately, he passed away. But when I came, I decided to implement those projects that he promised. And one was a brand new modern library, and we started it. Another was a multi-complex lecture hall complex. We started it. And then we're going to build another hostel to accommodate more students. My understanding is that after we left, all these projects have come to a standstill. And I know that these projects are very important to facilitate teaching and learning in that university. And so when we come, we will continue those projects and complete them so that you can have use of them, because I've said that we're not going to be in a hurry to start new projects. The little resources we have, we're going to use it to continue and finish abundant and ongoing projects so that we can start making use of them. GPRTU, thank you for endorsing the 24-hour economy, because you cannot have a 24-hour economy without an efficient transport system. And GPRTU is the key driver of the transport system here in Ghana. So I know that if we implement a 24-hour economy, the GPRTU is going to benefit from it. I noted The Wa-Tumu-Bolga road. It is a shame that that road is not completed because it links two regional capitals with each other. People travel from Bolga to Wa, and I don't think it is fair for them to go around through Tamale and through Fufulso to Sola to Wa. The routes from Bolga to Wa is shorter for them, and so we must complete that road so that people can travel between the two regional capitals. The Wa-Bole-Bamboy road is also in a bad state. It was built during the Rawlings regime. Unfortunately, this government over the last 7 years have not maintained the road. And so potholes have developed in the roads and it's made the road come into a very deplorable state. I come from Bole-Bamboy, and as MP for Bole-Bamboy in those days, I traveled constantly to Wa, so I can understand how my people are feeling. Because Wa is our referral hospital. If there's a case they can't handle in Bole, they have to transport the patient to the Upper West Regional Hospital in Wa. And if the road is not in a good condition, often by the time you get the patient to the hospital, the patient has passed away. So it's in my own interest that the Wa-Bole-Bamboy road is fixed so that my people can have an easy drive to Wa in case of emergency. And let me say it again, I don't know whether it will be for the last time, we shall cancel licensure exams. We are going to make the licensing process for teachers part of your final year work. And so when you come out of College of Education, you would not only have finished your normal course of work, you would also have finished your licensing. So you come out of College of Education as a licensed teacher. And so you don't have to pay to write a different exam at another date before you get your license. Then, lack of accommodation for teachers. I've talked about it, it's been raised in many places, and we said that we're going to make it a policy that for every school that is built, teachers' accommodation must be provided alongside the school building. We won't build classrooms and just leave them like that without accommodation for teachers. Because one of the disincentives that teachers face in terms of going to rural areas is that they can't find accommodation. And so often they have to live in the nearest town, rent a room there, and they have to commute to school every day. And now you know the cost of fuel, you know the cost of transport fares. And so if they have to commute every day, it eats a chunk of their meager salaries. And so we will make it a policy, anybody that is building a school must make provision for teacher accommodation alongside the school. And then nurses, you complained about equipment. A lot of the equipment has deteriorated in our public hospitals. And so often when you go, if you have to do an x-ray, if you have to do a scan, they will ask you to go somewhere and do it. And you get charged for it. And that is most unfortunate. When I was president, we did the equipment, the re-equipping of our public hospitals. We provided CT scans, we provided MRIs, we provided X-ray machines, we provided tomograph machines, so many equipment to all the public hospitals. Unfortunately, there's not been a re-equipping of the hospitals, so most of those equipment are broken down. And when we come, we will see what to do about it. I'm surprised that nurses are still unposted, because this government has always boasted that it has cleared the backlog of nurses who have not been posted yet. But my information is that almost 4 batches of nurses are sitting at home and have not yet got posting. And so it is something that we need to deal with. I've addressed it in several fora, and it's something that we'll capture in our manifesto. How to deal with the nurses that we're producing, be able to facilitate, because you go to a lot of our health facilities and we still need nurses. There are CHIPS compounds where we don't have nurses. There are hospitals where we don't have enough nurses. And so it's not like the vacancy is not there. I think it's the financial clearance that is the major problem. And we need to find a way of fixing it. I've said we must expand the training of nurses so that we train more nurses. And then we use as many of them as possible. But we should train them to a quality where if we are not using them, we can export them to other countries to go and work and earn money and experience and come back home. And then the suggestion was to elevate nursing training schools to tertiary institutions. It has been said already somewhere, and it's something that we have recorded and we are taking a look at. And then we've received notes from persons with disability. I want to thank them for coming and giving us their concerns. I can assure you we're going to look at it and we're going to incorporate issues to do with persons with disability in our manifesto. I thank you very much. May God richly bless us all. But before I finish, I want to congratulate all our women on the occasion of International Women's Day. It is indeed a historic day because just yesterday we endorsed the nomination of Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman as our running mate, and I strongly believe that on 7th January she's going to be the pioneer, and she's going to open the way for our children, our women, our sisters, because she'll be sworn in as the first Vice President of Ghana, and many other women will follow in her footsteps. I thank you very much.
The TNC woman who protected their national women organized here. So we're hoping that you use the opportunity. Let them come up.
And so I wish you happy International Women's Day. May God bless all of you. Thank you.